All right. Good evening, students. My name is Bijal Shah, and as you all know that I'm a tutor from Career Makers Education, right? So today we'll continue some tips and strategies for listening. There are multiple types in listening, like last time we have taken multiple choice questions. Then after that we have taken listening, note completion, form completion. And today we will take a plan or a map labeling, which is most crucial and difficult one in listening part. I mean, majority of the students face problem in solving and getting correct answer in map in listening part. So today we'll have a look on that what are the problems we usually face in map labeling, and what can be the strategies that we can apply to solve this problem. All right. So just to begin with, let's have a look on again जिन लोगों को नहीं पता है, I mean, of course, who have already attended my sessions earlier knows that कि IELTS की listening के basics में किस तरह से descriptions होते हैं, कौन सी types होती है. But who has not attended last sessions and who are new to IELTS, so उसके लिए एक बार refer कर लेते हैं quickly कि IELTS की basic में listening में क्या होता है. All right. So this is the paper format that there will be 4 parts and having 10 questions in each part, and difficulty level will increase gradually. I mean, part 1 will be a conversation between 2 speakers. Most of the time, as I told earlier as well, okay, most of the time it will be something travel arrangement or filling up the forms or a note completion that will come in a part 1. And then part 2, there will be a monologue. So there will be a speech, maybe from the faculty or a professor. And part 3, sometimes part 3 stays most difficult because in that part 3 they add 3 speakers. So it is sometimes for us very difficult to identify that who is speaking what. And part 4, there will be again monologue on an academic subject. So the recording will be heard in mainly British accents or an Australian, New Zealand, American or Canadian accents. So we need to be accustomed with such kind of accents, and for this, ultimately, practice is must. लास्ट टाइम हम लोगों ने जो नोट एंड फॉर्म कंप्लीशन किया था उसके पहले हम लोगों ने एमसीक्यूज लिए थे. सो आई इंसिस्ट यू कि आज का सेशंस भी अच्छी तरह से पूरा का पूरा अटेंड करिए, और उसके बाद कीप प्रैक्टिसिंग लिसनिंग थ्रू आउट. एवरी डे का एक प्रैक्टिस होना चाहिए लिसनिंग टेस्ट का, इंक्लूडिंग ऑल 4 पार्ट्स. So because now after completion of today's session, majority of the types is covered. So definitely you can solve the problems and queries using tips and techniques that we have learned you. All right. So so this was all about total time duration for the listening will be 30 minutes and 10 minutes extra if you are appearing for paper-based examination. Total questions will be 40. And out of 40 questions, your scores will be calculated on the bands like this. So you can see that if you are looking for 8 bands, then requirement for the correct answers will be 35 to 36. Okay, so this is the band score. Based on the correct number of correct answers for listening, which is same for both academic and general training students. All right. So just to have a look on a general basic tips to crack listening part, what we need to do it is underline the instructions to remember it very clearly before audio starts. मैंने ये पहले लिया था एक बार, so आज मैं बहुत ही quick उसको just recap करवा देती हूँ, so that you can just have a look on, and उसके बाद you can have a taste of completely 4 parts in listening. So the first instructions before audio starts, just have a look and underline the instructions and understand it very clearly. Go through the questions and skim the questions and understand what type of questions they are looking for, right? So be careful about singular and plural words, common names and places, especially for form or a note completion. Names and places will come. So जो common होंगे वो spell नहीं होंगे. So we need to understand and remember the common spellings in our practice throughout. Yes, it is good idea if we are using short forms while writing. Rather than books, we can just say that BKS. At university, you can say UNI. So these are the short forms. Why it is a better idea? Because you are listening to the audio, you are reading the questions, and simultaneously you need to write the answers. So in that case, of course, reading and listening, we can't cut short anywhere. So for writing, we can just write in a short forms, but make sure with the plural. Rather than if your answer is books, then in a short form, you should write B, K, and S. Otherwise, you will just end up with writing book if you write BK only. So then you will forget to write in a plural one, right? So be careful with the short forms. If you are not comfortable with short forms, then better to write in a complete whole word. All right. And then after in 10 minutes, you need to transfer your answers into exact answer sheet. It is advisable to write your answers in uppercase, capital letter. So to avoid the mistakes of capitalization. Always look for the current spelling. Of course, grammatically sentence should be at the end. Sentence must be grammatically correct. Then yes, because there is no negative marking. If you have not known any answer, then guess and continue. Don't leave the blank. All right, so this is what part 1 and 3 are. Conversations. Part 1 may be between only between 2 person and 2 speakers. Part 3 can be of 2 speakers, or sometimes they add 3 speakers as well in part 3. Rather, part 2 and part 4 are monologues. So it's a single one-way speech. All right, so as I said that you need to develop your abilities on a multitasking of listening to the audio, reading the questions, and writing the answers. All right, so ultimately you need to improve your vocabulary, resources, World Bank, which is required to understand the communication and conversation. Grammatically correct sentence at the end, sentence must be grammatically correct, and ultimately you need to practice on the accents and pronunciations. All right, clear? So this was all about the basic tips for the listening. Now let's have a look on our today's topic, which is plan, map, or diagram labeling. This type of question requires you to identify the different parts of the map or a plan. And they will describe that map or plan in the recording, and that's what you need to understand, and descriptions, and you need to follow the direction, and you need to label the missing parts. All right, so ultimately what they are looking for, that how you are good to understand with the direction and the special relationship between 2 places For example, straight on, through the far door. So that's what they are looking for, that how good you are with directions, especially, right? So this is just an example that plan may come something like that, and they will give you some fill in the blanks. And by hearing the recording, you need to answer those blanks. Okay, so we'll learn, this is all about plan, and this was a map. So you need to just go through this map or a plan, and then you need to crack it very clearly, that by continuing here, continually focus on the your recordings. All right. So majority of the people students are facing problem in that कि मैम ये जो map आता है, so we get very much confused कहाँ से begin करना है, what they are actually saying, कहाँ का location कहाँ पे mention हो रहा है, so that's what you are getting confused. So that's what we learned today कि problems कहाँ पे face होती है students को. Not being aware of the vocabulary and functional language used to describe the location and direction. So majority of the time students are facing the problem ki, above all, in the middle of the place, on the northeast, extreme northeast, on the edge of the building. So these are the words basically, vocabulary basically. That's what they are using to describe the locations and directions. So we need to learn those kind of special languages. Then yes, sometimes what happens that they give you the extra informations as well. In recording, they are giving you extra, too much of informations they are giving, and from that all informations you need to just note down your gaps which you need to fill. So in that case, again, sometimes students get confused कि भी बहुत सारी informations दे दी है, so कहाँ से कौन सी blank में कौन सी informations fill up करनी है, and that's why students get confused कि particular blank पे कौन सा answer आएगा, right? So that's what we'll cover it up gradually. And yes, the most common problem is a spelling. यहाँ पे जो डायग्राम मेंशन करते हैं, तो उसमें they used to add such words that we are quite simple in a spelling, but sometimes we just being in overconfidence, we mistaken with the spellings, and so ultimately we end up with the wrong answers. So it is very be very careful to write your answers in a correct spelling when especially in the types of question, because you have to do so many things at the same time. यहाँ पे आपको पूरा का पूरा मैप को विजुअलाइज करना है. So in that case ऑडियो के रिकॉर्डिंग के साथ जो हम मैप को रीड करते हैं, वो मैप में ऑडियो रिकॉर्डिंग के साथ मैप में जो रीडिंग करते हैं, वो दोनों को मर्ज करके हमें पूरा का पूरा मैप विजुअलाइज करना है. Then only we are able to get the correct answer of this map labeling. So that's why majority of the students face the problem of visualization. So this refers to your ability to form a mental visual image basically. So you will be sitting in a exam room, and simultaneously you are listening to the recording, and in that same pressure of exam anxiety, you need to visualize the exact map or a diagram, right? So then only you can go with the exact location and the directions. That's what they are mentioning. So majority of the time students face that imagination problem. Excuse me. So now the first problem, that vocabulary and functional language. how they are describing such kind of locations and directions. There are particular language that they are using to describe the locations. So below are some phrases and vocabulary. Well, before understanding the vocabulary, here you can see the direction. So just go through this direction first, and ultimately you need to remember these directions very clearly. कि भी यहाँ पे नॉर्थ कहाँ पे, most of the time they will mention you this directions in your map. If not, then before starting of the audio, just quickly draw these directions on your paper. I mean question paper map only, on the just corner of that map given, so that you can easily understand that when in audio, when they are using that on the east or the north. So then how to understand these directions? You need to understand this all the directions very carefully, because it is not that कि भी हमें north, east, south and west को ही हमें दिमाग में रखना है. We need to remember all 8 directions. All right, so this is just north, east, south and west. So in between those 2 directions, there is northeast, then southeast, then southwest and northwest. So that's what we need to be very careful with this directions pattern. All right. And then let's have a look with the special language used to show the directions. That at the top or else at the bottom, right? So both can be used as a, if there is a, when we are talking about the north direction, then it will be the at the top. Then south, sometimes they mention at the bottom. So be very careful with those directions, with the top, bottom, left and right as well. When they say that on the left, then it will be your left, right? It is not that, it is simply the mirror image. So when it is says this on the left, then definitely you need to mention that west side. I mean, yes, you can over here by mistaken they have written O, but this is west. So when they are saying that on the left, then of course you need to move your eyes on the west side, and when it is right, then of course you need to go with the east side, right? All right, so these are the directions: north, south, east and west. Then simultaneously they are using the southwest, northeast, so middle directions as well. You need to be understand very clearly. Then apart from this, all 8 directions: above, below, inside, outside, middle, center. So understand those words also very clearly, because they often use to show the exact direction, right? So these are the prepositions as well, that beside, just below, just above, so inside the buildings. So that's what they use, such kind of prepositions as well. So understand those kind of vocabulary phrases very clearly. In addition, they use opposite to the X building, there is a Y building too. And then they mention that Y building is that. So opposite, in front of, left hand side, right hand side, just past, before you get to, adjoining, adjacent, enter via, runs alongside. So these are the basically language vocabulary to understand the directions. Be very careful with such directions and go through these directions continuously, so that while listening to the recording, practice those recording very every day almost. So while appearing for the examination, you are be very much clear with directions, and then only you are able to crack this map labeling. Otherwise you will get totally messed up ultimately with the map labeling. All right, so this was all about languages that usually they use in recordings. So now coming to the strategies. So what we need to do first is read the questions very clearly, understand that what that map or a plan is about. लाइब्रेरी का मैप है, कोई पर्टिकुलर आइलैंड का प्लान है, and what are their features. Just try to understand the map कि चलो एंट्रेंस कहाँ पे है, उसमें एंट्रेंस के लेफ्ट में क्या है, राइट में क्या है, आगे कहाँ पे कौन सी चीज उन लोगों ने मेंशन की है. That's what already mentioned चीज, underline those mentioned places, so that while recording they will speak those mentioned places, so that you can make out very clearly that you are on the perfect directions according to the recording. And so only you need to underline the places mentioned in the map, and think about where the person might begin their talk from. So recording में जहां से talk start होगी, वहीं से हमारा walk start होगा. Are you getting my point clearly? That recording में जहां से talk begin हो रही है, वही place से हमारी map की walk begin होगी. You need to put your pencil at the exact point where the recording is beginning. And then वहीं से हमारी पूरी की पूरी direction start होगी. You just need to follow the instructions given in the recording and you need to move your pencils throughout. Clear? समझ में आया मैं जो बोल रही हूँ वो, कि जो जहां से वो recording में begin करते हैं, they clearly mention that particular stop पे आप कहाँ पे हो. At the beginning of the recording they mention कि आप कहाँ पे हो, maybe at the entrance. So आपके मैप में जहां पे भी एंट्रेंस है, वहीं पे आपकी पेंसिल को आपके रख देनी है स्टॉप करके. And then just go with the flow as per the recording. Then left, right, above, below, जहां पे भी बोल रहे हैं वहां पे हमें जाकर हमें उस places को label करना है. All right? So look at the major parts of the map or a plan to help you understand and navigate your way around. So as I told just now कि जो locations already वहाँ पे label किए हुए हैं, वो सब label को underline करना है and understand those places very clearly अपने दिमाग में होने चाहिए. So जब recording play हो रहा है, तब in case if you are confused with the directions, then you can just get back to the directions and exact location by matching the exact location they are already mentioning in the recording which are there in your map. आपके मैप में जो भी लोकेशंस ऑलरेडी मेंशन किए हुए हैं, वो लोकेशन अगर रिकॉर्डिंग में वो मेंशन करते हैं, so then you can match with the directions and then वहां से हमें कंटिन्यू करना है. राइट? सो make sure and underline the labels which are already there in your map. Then predict what type of words might be the answer. So when there is a map completion, so possible है, so for example library का map है, so library का जो map होगा तो उसमें there can be a waiting room, there can be a books storage area. So of course library की जो building है उसके अंदर कोई building नहीं होगा, right? So streets नहीं होगी उसमें, so they are looking for some sections. So what type of answers you are looking for? कौन सा मैप है और उस मैप में हमें कौन सी चीजें सर्च करनी है, वो that's what you need to understand and predict it. Prediction is must throughout in your listening. So कौन सी लिसनिंग की टाइप है, अकॉर्डिंगली हमें उसका लिसनिंग के आंसर्स को प्रिडिक्ट करना बहुत ही जरूरी है. राइट. तो यहाँ पे भी हमें जो भी हमारा मैप है, सो मैप के अकॉर्डिंगली जो लेबल आएंगे, तो लेबल कौन से टाइप के आ सकते हैं, दैट्स व्हाट यू नीड टू प्रिडिक्ट बिफोर द रिकॉर्डिंग स्टार्ट्स. ऑलराइट. Then listen to the beginning of the talk carefully, because this will help you to understand the context and help you follow the talk more easily. So what does that mean? कि मैप का जो पूरा का पूरा डायरेक्शंस दे स्टार्ट करते हैं, वो स्टार्ट करने से पहले दे क्रिएट सम बैकग्राउंड कि भी ये कौन सा मैप है, एंड मैप को कहाँ से बिगिन करने वाले हैं, आई मीन वेयर आर यू एक्चुअली एज ऑफ नाउ. सो दैट्स व्हाट इवन दे मेंशन. अगर लाइब्रेरी में आप एंटर हुए हैं तो यू आर एट द एंट्रेंस, मे बी योर रिसेप्शन डेस्क. तो रिसेप्शन डेस्क पे है आप, तो आपको वहीं से आपका पूरा का पूरा मैप कंटिन्यू करना है, राइट. सो वहां से आपको डायरेक्शंस की आइडिया आनी चाहिए कि भी वहां से स्ट्रेट जाना है तो रिसेप्शन से स्ट्रेट जाना है हमें. So understand the directions very carefully, and so that you need to focus on the beginning of the whole listening part. All right. Then visualization, which is must in map labeling. They are describing the person is talking. Note down any possible answers, but be careful with the distractors. Distractors are, in other words, you can say those are called monster words. So they change the answers, that this was the library, but. So but is the distractor. We decided to move it down to the end of the corridor. So that's what they have changed the location. So be very careful with such kind of monster words throughout. Use the signposting language, like the next room we are about to see is, I mean, these are the language basically used as a signpost. So you can clearly make out that एक already label किया हुआ है, one space is already labeled, and उसके बाजू वाली जो space है उसको label नहीं किया है. So आपको क्या करना है कि adjacent to the label thing, right? So these are called as the signposting language. So understand with those the signposting language as well. Clear? So this is all about strategy tips for the map labeling. So it's very be very careful with understanding the signposting language as well. That's what is signposting language basically. So signposting languages are languages, those are giving you the directions which labels are already there. For example, over here, I have taken the next room we are about to see is. What does that mean? कि आप जहाँ पे पहले थे, वहीं से आप लोग next room में जा रहे हैं. So maybe in a library, they have mentioned the book storage area. So वहाँ से recording में you are at the book storage area, right? And then next will be DVD player's room. So what does that mean? कि उसके बाद वाला जो भी room है, उसके बाद वाला जो भी place है, that will be DVD player room. So that is what signposting is. And that is why most importantly, you need to follow with the exact directions. आपकी pencil की movement, आपको उसी के हिसाब से walk करना है पूरा का पूरा. या जहां से भी टॉक बिगिन होता है और जहां पे भी टॉक में मेंशन करते हैं, लेबल करते हैं, सो वो सब जगह पे हमें जाना है. ड्रॉ योर पेंसिल, मूव योर पेंसिल एट द प्लेसेस दे आर मेंशनिंग इन द रिकॉर्डिंग, एंड देन नेक्स्ट टू द गिवन रूम, then just follow the followed by the X place. So that's what they are using as a signpost language. All right, clear? So now let's have a look with the sample map, so that you can have a clear idea about this strategy that you are able to use or not, right? All right. So just you can see over here that there is a plan given of a town library, right? So you can see there are some labels already which are already there, that the entrance, then librarian's desk, library office, then fiction area, non-fiction area, library area, seminar room. So these are already there. Now there are a few blanks. So somewhat try to predict the answers that, for example, at 11th place, what can be the answers? Try to predict and write in your pen, write in your paper right now. Do not write on the chat box, just write in your paper that what can be the answer at the 11th place or a 12th one. According to you, just try to assume. All right, and now I'm going to start the recording. Recording, yes, labeling.
You'll hear the librarian of a new town library talking to a group of people who are visiting the library.
Okay, everyone. So, here we are at the entrance to the town library. My name is Anne, and I'm the chief librarian here, and you'll usually find me at the desk just by the main entrance here. So, I'd like to tell you a bit about the way the library is organised and what you'll find where. And you should all have a plan in front of you. Well, as you see, my desk is just on your right as you go in. And opposite this, the first room on your left has an excellent collection of reference books and is also a place where people can read or study peacefully. Just beyond the librarian's desk on the right is a room where we have up-to-date periodicals such as newspapers and magazines. And this room also has a photocopier, in case you want to copy any of the articles. If you carry straight on, you'll come into a large room, and this is the main library area. There is fiction in the shelves on the left, and non-fiction materials on your right, and on the shelves on the far wall there is an excellent collection of books relating to local history. We're hoping to add a section on local tourist attractions too later in the year. Through the far door in the library, just past the fiction shelves, is a seminar room, and that can be booked for meetings or talks. And next door to that is the children's library, which has a good collection of stories and picture books for the under 11s. Then there's a large room to the right of the library area. That's the multimedia collection, where you can borrow DVDs and so on. And we also have CD-ROMs you can borrow to use on your computer at home. It was originally the art collection, but that's been moved to another building. And that's about it. Oh, there's also the library office on the left of the librarian's desk. Okay. Now, does anyone have any questions? Yes, thank you, sir.
Okay, you can send me the answers in a private chat box. Okay. All right. Okay, tell me, is there anyone who missed the answers? Okay, which number, which answers that who has missed, which answer they have missed? Okay, so see, you can see that the majority of the students who has missed the answers are initial answers. Why that is the initial answers? Because you didn't understand, you didn't listen to the beginning of the recording clearly. You need to understand and you need to be very careful that where you are exactly. So वो लोकेशन आपको recording के starting से ही पता चलेगा. There was a lady who was a librarian who was speaking and who was telling that just at the end, right on the entrance, that was her desk, right? That's what they have mentioned. So वहीं से हमें begin करना है. So put your pencil at the entrance at the librarian desk and then वहीं से हमें begin करना है. So then after you won't miss any questions. All right. All right, let's have a look. The correct answer. The correct answers are H, G, D, B, and F. In 13th, many got the wrong answers as well. Right? Few wrote that tourist information desk. So there was some twisting part on the 13th one. The correct answer was local history collection for the 13th one. Okay, clear? Now let's have a look on the second listening for this topic. This type. Okay, this is a map. Earlier we have taken a plan, and now this is a map. That's what you need to label. Now just go through this map. This is all about a map of a particular town, and they have mentioned the streets and the hall, then a tourist information center, then the railway stations, then museums, and everything they have mentioned and already labeled, and few they are looking for, that 11 to 15. All right, try to predict the answer. चलो यहाँ पे जो एक माउंटेन रोड है, तो माउंटेन रोड के जस्ट बिसाइड अल्फाबेट ए मेंशन किया हुआ है, तो व्हाट इट कैन बी. ट्राई टू प्रिडिक्ट कि अगर रोड के पास में ही है तो वो क्या हो सकता है. राइट, सो दैट इज व्हाट समथिंग इंटरेस्टिंग यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड. एक बार आप प्रिडिक्ट करोगे, उसके बाद आपको ग्रेजुअली पता चलेगा कि किस तरह से प्रिडिक्शंस हमें करना चाहिए. All right, so now I'm starting the recording.
You will hear a tourist information officer explaining local walks to visitors. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 15.
Welcome to everyone here. I hope you enjoy your stay in our village and enjoy the local scenery. I'll tell you a bit about the forest and mountain tracks in a minute, but first, I'll just give you an idea of where everything is in the village. So, we're here in the Tourist Information Center, and when you come out of the center, you're on Willow Lane, just opposite the pond. If you want to get to the supermarket for your supplies of food and water, go right. That's the quickest way, and then turn right at the top of Willow Lane, and it's the second building you come to, opposite the old railway station. If you're planning on doing some serious climbing and you need some equipment, we do have an excellent climbing supply store just 5 minutes walk away. Turn left once you're outside the Tourist Information Center. Take Willow Lane all the way up to Pine Street. You want to go left along here. Then keep walking and go up Mountain Road on your right until you come to the next turning on the left. Head down there and you'll come to the climbing supplies store. If you get to the small building that sells ski passes, you'll know you've gone too far. You also need to head to Pine Street for the museum. It's small, but well worth a visit if you're interested in the history of the village and the old gold mining industry. So, when you reach Pine Street from here, you'll see the old railway line on the other side of the road. Turn left into Pine Street and keep going until you come to Mountain Road. And just past here, the museum will be on your left, just behind the railway line. Don't worry about crossing over the tracks. The train stopped running through here in 1985. If you're planning on following one of the easier forest walks, you might like to hire a bicycle. To get to the hire shop, again, you need to head to Pine Street. On the left-hand side of Pine Street, you'll see the town hall. Go down the little road that you come to just before it, and you'll find the bike hire shop just behind the hall. They have a good range of bikes, so I'm sure you'll find something that suits your needs. Last but not least, if you're hungry after a long day's trek, I can recommend our local cafe. Again, when you leave the Tourist Information Center, turn right and follow Willow Lane until it joins Pine Street. And right opposite, on the far side of the railway tracks, is the cafe.
All right, looking for the answers. All right. Okay. Okay, let's have a look with the correct answer now. Sorry, 16th is not the answer, but 11 to 15. 11th is G. Then 12th is that climbing supplying store is D. Then museum is just beside the mountain road. Then 14, bike hire, which is E. And 15, cafe. Cafe is B. All right, opposite to the Pine Street. All right, so That is it. 13th is A, 11th is G, 12th is D, D for Delhi. Then 13th is A, 14th is E, 15th is C. All right. 16th is not the answer. So just skip the 16th one. It was by mistake by me. All right. So this was about map completion. Earlier we have taken that plan. One more example we are taking now. So, I mean, yes, plan was, the first sample was comparatively very easy. This map completion was a bit tough. And now we'll have a look on another third sample. So have a look with this map, and then we'll label by listening the recordings. All right. So have a look with this map. Where is the main entrance? Then where is the college? Then Bulpadog, then Bishops. So where are the locations which are already there? And then what we are what we need to look for. Okay. So now I'm starting the recording. Just give me some time. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, excuse me. I'm looking for Trinity College. It's part of the University of Melbourne. Do you know where it is?
Well, you're actually very close to where you want to be. From here, we're at the main entrance. Go straight on past the college oak, the oak tree on your left, and the bull paddock. That's the grassy area on your right.
So the college oak is on the left?
That's right. And go towards Bishops, the building with the tower.
I see. So is the main reception in there?
No, but it's not too far away. Next to Bishops is the senior common room, and you need to go in there and out again the other side. Go right along the path, past the senior common room, on your left, and you'll see a door. This is the entrance to the senior common room. Go up the stairs, into the senior common room building, and straight through the other side.
Okay, into the senior common room building and out again.
Yes, and you'll see another path. The dining room is on your right, and the kitchens are a bit further on the right too, alongside Sharwood Court.
I see.
Go across Sharwood Court and turn right at the building in front of you. This is the Sharwood Room. Just opposite the Sharwood Room, across the lawn from it, is the Foundation Studies office.
Is it far? It sounds like a long way.
It's not too far. You'll find it quite easily once you go out of the senior common room building.
Thanks very much. Oh,
All right. Okay, looking for the answers. Please write your answers in the chat box. All right. Okay. What about others? Is there anyone who missed the answers? All right. So everyone, I think everyone found this map a bit tough one rather than this first two samples, right? So this is basically they started from the main entrance and then they went up to the direction, right? So I'm playing this recording again and try to get figure out the answers again. All right.
Oh, excuse me. I'm looking for Trinity College. It's part of the University of Melbourne. Do you know where it is?
Well, you're actually very close to where you want to be. From here, we're at the main entrance. Go straight on past the college oak, the oak tree on your left, and the bull paddock. That's the grassy area on your right.
So the college oak is on the left.
That's right. And go towards Bishop's, the building with the tower.
I see. So is the main reception in there?
No, but it's not too far away. Next to Bishop's is the senior common room, and you need to go in there and out again the other side. Go right along the path, past the senior common room, on your left, and you'll see a door. This is the entrance to the senior common room. Go up the stairs, into the senior common room building, and straight through the other side.
Okay, into the senior common room building and out again.
Yes, and you'll see another path. The dining room is on your right, and the kitchens are a bit further on the right too, alongside Sharwood Court.
I see.
Go across Sharwood Court and turn right at the building in front of you. This is the Sharwood Room. Just opposite the Sharwood Room, across the lawn from it, is the Foundation Studies office.
Is it far? It sounds like a long way.
It's not too far. You'll find it quite easily once you go out of the senior common room building.
Thanks very much.
Okay. So this was all about this third sample. Listening. Yes, this was tough. Gradually, I increased the level of map labeling. The first was a plan, which was simplest one. Second was the map of the village, which was a quite tougher than prior one. And this was the map, which was the you may found toughest one, right? So, all right, let's get the answers of this one. The first is a senior common room, which is A, clearly mentioned. Majority of the students got the correct answer. Then second, kitchen. Kitchen is the C. All right. Then it is Foundation Studies Office is extreme far, which is E. All right. And then Sharwood room is D, and then dining room is at B. So first is A, second is C, third is E, fourth is D, and fifth one is B. All right. So this was all about map and diagram or plan labeling. So just try to solve this type of listening using this strategy. That's what I told you, that what you need to do is, first of all, always understand the basic beginning of the recording, that where you are actually and from where they are beginning your directions. That is most important thing. यहाँ पे जो थर्ड वाला मैप है उसमें उन लोगों ने मेन एंट्रेंस से स्टार्ट किया था. उसके पहले वाला जो विलेज था तो उसमें उन्होंने टूरिस्ट सेंटर डेस्क से स्टार्ट किया था. उसके पहले वाला जो हमारा प्लान था उसमें उन लोगों ने चालू किया था लाइब्रेरियन डेस्क से, राइट? सो कहाँ से स्टार्ट करना है, दैट्स व्हाट वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड वेरी क्लियरली. देन ओनली वी कैन get the label step by step. All right. So, and then follow the directions as per the recording they are telling you. Clear? Ultimately, if at all you are not able to get the answer, don't keep the blank. Get the answers, guess the answers, and go ahead. Okay, all right. Okay, this is all about that today's the session. Let me know if anyone is having any query regarding today's topic. All right, so everything is clear now. So that is it. Let's end up the session today. And if you all like this online coaching and tutorials, then please don't forget to review on our Google Business accounts. Or else you can just you can just WhatsApp us about the reviews of the faculties and the coaching and the which type of sessions, which lectures you like the most. So that we can have a proper feedback, we can know that if we need to improve, then of course we'll work on that. All right. Okay. Have a nice day and goodbye, everyone.